I, Dr. Sunaina Malik, and my co-instructors welcome you to this very useful course on communication skills. As you all know, in today's times, all of us need to learn how to communicate. And believe me, it's an art. It's not something that you're born with. If you're lucky, you're born with it. If not, then you have to learn it. So here we are to help you learn a little bit on how to go about it. My talk is on how to be an effective speaker. In this course, we have divided it into 4 parts. First is how to be an effective speaker. Second will come how to make a good PowerPoint presentation. Then third will be how to make a good video presentation. And fourth and last is going to be on how to prepare a good paper for research and to publish it, which no one can tell you better than our own Dr. Barun Naik. So here we go. Obviously, no financial disclosure. Who's going to finance me for this? Now, when it comes to speaking on a public platform, you have to prepare. And preparing means you have to study for your presentation. You cannot just go unprepared on the dais and speak. You have to sift through the data which is available, which is easy nowadays because of the internet. You have lots of sources. Make notes and then prepare your PowerPoint or keynote presentation, depending on which laptop you've got. Always time yourself. You must not overshoot time because, especially if you're speaking in a free paper session, the timing is very important. Marks are given for that, and marks are also cut for that. So remember that. Always, always carry an extra copy of your presentation. This is important because if you lose one, then you're lost, then you're gone. So what will you do? Attire. This is very, very important. That's what I feel, and I think it matters. Because how you dress does matter. No matter how much you may deride it, that no, it's okay, it makes no difference, whatever I wear, but it does. See, when you're speaking on a public platform, you cannot wear bathroom chappals and go and speak because people are looking at you, they're observing you from top to toe, and they see what you're wearing, how you're wearing it, and whether it suits the occasion or not. So what you wear depends on the place, the audience, and the theme of your talk. If you have the slightest doubt, you should ask for advice from your senior or some colleague who has already spoken a couple of times. Now here I'm showing you 2 pictures of a lady and a guy. The guy is dressed in a suit, obviously, and the lady is wearing a blazer. But if you're not comfortable with a blazer for ladies, it doesn't matter. You can look equally elegant in a sari or any other ethnic wear which suits the occasion. Like right now, I'm in a kurti and pants, so that's okay. It doesn't have to be a business suit, always. A sari will look equally good. Now, preparing to speak. If you're a newcomer, a first-timer, rehearse again and again. It helps because then you don't feel uncomfortable in front of your audience. Always begin by addressing the audience and the dais. Adjust the microphone to your own height. That was the first thing I did when I came to the podium. If you're not comfortable behind the podium, you want to walk about and directly address your audience, be visible to them, ask for a collar mic. And also ask for a pointer if there are certain things which you want to point out in your presentation. And you should not hesitate in doing all this because this is what makes a speaker good. What is the correct distance from a mic? That comes from experience. Some people tend to go too close, some are too far. But once you start speaking, you come to know what is your optimum distance from the mic, and you should stick to that. Speaking etiquettes. You must stand straight, first of all. Please do not slouch. It's so bad. Face the audience. Maintain eye contact with your audience because they are the ones who are listening to you. They are ones who are taking home the message that you're trying to give. Use gestures, but not too many. And in between your talk, you can have short, pertinent anecdotes. And feel free to sip water during your talk, nobody's stopping you from doing that. If your mouth is dry, you won't be able to speak further. There are certain strict don'ts which you don't have to do at all. And I specifically put this slide in because I've seen this happening a couple of times and I always give that example. Please, no combing your hair on the stage. I've seen a very, very eminent person. I'm not going to name him because he's so well known that it would be bad manners on my part to take his name. I've seen such a person who's a speaker called everywhere come on stage on a Women's Day program. He had long hair. So he was combing his hair on the stage as he came. I felt it was terrible. I mean, it shows such disrespect for your audience. If you wanted to comb your hair, you should have gone to the washroom before coming on stage, done that, and then come. Why do it in front of your audience? Also, please do not put your hands in your pockets. It shows bad manners and disrespect for your audience. No long-winded stories. Nobody's interested in listening to that. And no nasty or personal attacks on anyone. All these things show a lack of courtesy for your audience, which you must never do. Now, this is what it's all about, you know. If you want to become an effective speaker, you have to be passionate about your subject and all these other things which are described here. I found this slide so good. It describes just about everything that you need to be an effective speaker. You must have empathy for your audience and for your talk. You must be sincere and you should be people-centered. You should have the knack of storytelling. You should be persuasive and so on. In conclusion, before you conclude, always acknowledge the contributors to your talk. This makes a difference, especially if you have borrowed something from someone else. You require permission from that person for one thing. That is extremely important. You cannot just take somebody's video or somebody's talk and put it in without permission from that person and acknowledge that person in your talk. Conclude by thanking the audience for a patient hearing and always try to make your last slide pertinent. For example, if an occasion is coming up, like Ganpati, Dasera, Diwali, Holi, put in that slide. In conclusion, I would like to thank my father, my teachers in school, college, and all my students, some of whom are sitting right here, because of whom I'm able to talk to you on this subject. They are the ones who have made me what I am today and have made me be able to speak on this topic. Thank you so much and a very happy Holi to all of you. Thank you.